which is for the 50 marks. Okay. Now, if we consider the syllabus of this subject, Advanced Concrete Technology, in the second year civil engineering, you studied concrete technology, where you will study the cement, different types of cement, their manufacturing, their different properties. Okay. Then ingredients of the concrete, that is cement, sand, aggregate, and water, and different admixtures. Okay. Their proportioning, how to cast a concrete, how to find out the different taste of the concrete. It may be a compressive strength, okay, it may be a slump cone test, or many more. Okay, so here this subject is next to that. So what are different cements are used, or what are the recent developments in the cement as well as the concrete, that part is included over there. Because in the second year you studied about the conventional concrete only, or conventional cement. Okay, but there is a lot of development. Lot of cementitious materials are used, or for the sand or for the coarse aggregate, there are different alternatives. Okay, so that all part will be included over here in all unit number 1 to unit number 6. Where in unit number 1, just a revision is there. That is what is the cement? There are different types. Hydration, how the hydration of the cement takes place when it will come in contact with the water, alkali aggregate reaction. Then concrete, there are different properties, and green concrete. That will be part which will be covered in unit number 1. When we go for the unit number 2, there will be a different types of concrete, like structural lightweight concrete, ultra lightweight concrete, vacuum concrete, mass concrete, waste material based concrete, sulfur concrete, high strength concrete, or high performance concrete. And the recent development is the geopolymer concrete. Okay, so these are the different types of the concrete. That part will be included in unit number 2. If we say the concrete, you think only that cement, sand, aggregate, and water, that only. But if we change one material, or if we replace one material, suppose we will replace the coarse aggregate by the demolished concrete. Okay, then that will be a different type of concrete. Okay, so these all types of concrete we will study in unit number 2. As far as unit number 3 is concerned, it will deal with the design of these different types of concrete. In second year concrete technology, you have seen the concrete mix design for the conventional concrete. Okay, but when we say these different types of concrete, then we have to do the mixed design. So here, mixed design of high strength concrete, that part will be included. You may add flash over there. Okay, and in the second part, different non-destructive tests are there. Non-destructive test, NDT. Now that is what we will say, the area where you can do your career. That's it. Because many old buildings, they require a structural audit. Okay, that buildings are existing. You cannot take a destructive test over there. That means if you have to check, or if you have to find out the strength of a concrete, what you will do? You will just take a concrete, make a concrete, cast a cube, and take its compressive strength. Okay, but if you have to take, or if you have to find out the strength of the existing structure, then you have to take a non-destructive test, because if you take a sample from that, then structure may collapse, its strength will go on decreasing. Okay, so for that, different non-destructive tests are used, which are either a rebound hammer test, UPV test, or some other tests are there. So that part will be included over there in the unit number B part of the unit number 3. Then when we go for the unit number 4, nowadays fiber reinforced concrete is a common practice again. Many students are doing projects by using different types of fibers in the concrete. Okay, that's called as the fiber reinforced concrete. So that part included over there. There, what are the different types of fibers which are used? Their properties of the fiber. Then that properties may be basic properties or the mechanical properties, and how it will be under tension and bending. That part will be included in unit number 4. When we go for the unit number 5, then unit number 5, there properties of hardened fiber reinforced concrete, that will be included. That will be included over there. Okay, that is SFRC sheets, GFRC sheets, that part is there. And the last unit, unit number 6, which deals with the ferro cement. I think when you are in second year, we organized one workshop on ferro cement technology. That ferro cement society from Pune, they came over here and they have given you the demonstration about the ferro cement. They have explained you the theory part as well as practical is also performed over there. Okay, so that part is there in unit number 6, ferro cement, their properties, specification of ferro cement material, analysis and design, erection and assembly techniques. So that part is there as far as your all 6 units of the advanced concrete technology is concerned. When we go for the practical part, there you have to perform some tests as well as you have to study some report. In that, first you have to write a review on any recent research article from any standard peer-reviewed journal. That is, you will prepare a research paper and you will submit to a particular journal. Okay, if it is okay, then it will be accepted and it will be published. So likewise, related to our subject, you have to find out one research paper from peer-reviewed journal. Okay, and you have to study that paper, and what is mentioned in that paper, that you have to write down. That, okay, the details of the paper you have to write down in your own word. That is the first practical. Same thing, what you have done in the first practical, you have to do with the one patent. Okay, because nowadays there is huge invention or huge research in the concrete, in the advanced concrete, and many people file the patents against them. Okay, so you have to study one patent. Okay, and you have to write the report of the same. विद्यार्थ्यांना इंस्ट्रक्शन आहेत की कोणी तुमचे कॅमेरे चालू करू नका. Okay, that will be the second practical. Then you have to do a concrete mix design of either a self-compacting concrete, fiber reinforced concrete, lightweight concrete, or high strength or the high performance concrete. Any one of these, you have to do the concrete mix design. You have done that concrete mix design in the concrete technology during your second year engineering. Okay, that will be for a conventional concrete. But here, out of these different types of concrete, for any one, you have to do the mix design. Okay, and you have to find out the strength, whether if it is a high strength concrete, then whether you are getting that strength or not. Okay, next you have to perform different tests on the fresh concrete. Okay, now you know what is the difference between the fresh concrete and the hardened concrete. Fresh concrete, when we add water to the ingredient of the cement, whatever that concrete you will get, that is, it can be molded to any shape. That concrete we will call as a fresh concrete. Okay, so in fresh state, we will take a different test like slump cone test, setting time test, then visual stability index test, segregation, L box or U box. That test you have to perform on the fresh concrete as well as on the hardened concrete of either a self-compacting concrete or fiber reinforced concrete or ultra high strength concrete. You have to perform a test on hardened state, which may be a compressive strength, tensile strength, flexural strength. Okay, which may be a compressive strength, flexural strength, or tensile strength. That you have to perform in the hardened state of the hardened stage of the concrete. Then just a minute. Rahul Patharne. Okay, these are the different tests which we are going to perform in the hardened state of the concrete. Okay. Then next is the any one experiment on topics related to NDT. NDT, non-destructive testing. Either we will use a Raymond hammer test, either we will use the ultrasonic pulse velocity UPV test, or different microscopic examination of the concretes is there. Okay, different microscopic examination. That is, if we consider microscopic examination means that will be taken under a microscope, but that will be a 10,000 times that part will be zoomed, and then the ingredients or the structure of the concrete is studied. Okay. Then we have to perform site visit to study the practical aspects of the concrete technologies, where that different types, that is high performance concrete or high strength concrete, they are used. There we have to go for the visit, and we have to study the practical aspect. So that will be part included over there as far as your practical part is concerned. Okay, so now we'll start with your unit number 1. That is deals with the cement, its types, their properties, hydration of the cement, alkali aggregate reaction, grading curves, then concrete, properties of the concrete, that part is there. Today we will start with the cement. During this lecture, I will take some review of the concrete technology, which already you have studied in the second year, and some part of the your advanced concrete technology. Okay. Now, all of you know what is meant by cement, is it? So the contents which we are going to study over here. Now, what is cement, or what it will do? It will bind the ingredients of the concrete. Okay, a cement is a binder, a substance that sets and hardens and can bind other materials together. Other materials, which are that material? It is a fine aggregate and coarse aggregate. Okay, so it will bind that. That's why it is called as a binder. Its principal constituents for construction purpose are compounds of calcareous material and argillaceous material. That is, what are the main constituents of the cement are Chirag Badera, video off kara tumcha. Calcareous material and argillaceous material. Already what are calcareous material or argillaceous material you have studied. Now, what is the chemical composition of cement? That is very important. If this composition is disturbed, the properties of the cement or the properties of the concrete are go on changing. Okay. So here, that lime, that cement consists of lime, alumina, iron oxide, and gypsum, where the percentage of the lime is 63%, percentage of silica 22%, alumina is 0.6%, iron oxide 3%, and gypsum 1 to 4%. Okay. The cement have property of setting and hardening under water by virtue of certain chemical reaction. Please listen carefully. The cement have property of setting and hardening under water by virtue of certain chemical reaction. That reaction is called as hydration reaction. Okay, okay, and called as a hydraulic cement. The cement which goes under this reaction is called as hydraulic cement. Now, the cement is classified in different types. That is the natural cement, pozzolana cement, slag cement, and Portland cement. Nowadays, we are using that will be a Portland cement. Okay, it is the variety of artificial cement. It is called Portland cement because of hardening its color, which resembling to the one rock which is found near Portland. That's why it is called as a Portland cement. Okay. Now we will study about the Portland cement. First thing, an extremely finely ground product. Extremely fine. Cement हातात घेतल्यावर काय वाटतं तुम्हाला? खूप फाईन आहे, खूप स्मूथ आहे. Is it? That's why it is called extremely finely ground. म्हणजे तेवढे बारीक केलेले आहे ते. By calcinizing together at about 1500 degrees centigrade. Cement manufacture करताना the temperature of the kiln is near about 1500 degrees centigrade. Okay. An intimate and properly proportionated mixture of argillaceous, that is the clay, and calcareous, that is the lime, that is clay and lime are the raw material, but properly proportional. त्याचं proportion कसं आहे? फिक्स है, ओके, चेंज होता नहीं है proportion, okay, without the addition of anything subsequent to calcination, okay, excepting the retarded gypsum. म्हणजेच काय होत आहे, क्ले, लाईम यामध्ये दुसरं कुठलंही मटेरियल ऍड केलं जात नाहीये पोर्टलँड सिमेंट मध्ये. दॅट इज इम्पॉर्टंट. इन द पोर्टलँड सिमेंट ओनली क्ले अँड लाईम ऑर द कॅल्सियस अँड आर्जिलेसियस मटेरियल इज देअर, बट द जिप्सम इज ऍडेड ऍट द एंड, okay, for the setting properties. Now see here, raw material of the cement, calcareous material, CO, that is the limestone, which is a principal constituent and its properties can be regulated. Okay, now see here, each of these constituents of the cement will have its proportion. If it is increased, properties will be hampered. If it is decreased, again properties will be hampered. Excess, if lime is excess, what happens? It reduces the strength and makes the cement expand and disintegrate. If the lime is in excess quantity. But if the lime is in lesser quantity or lesser amount of lime, also reduce the strength by quick setting the cement. Second constituent is the argillaceous material, Al2O3 and SiO2. That's called as a clay. What it will do to the cement? It will impart the strength and makes cement as a quick setting. If it is in right proportion. But if clay is in excess, what happens? It weakens the cement. It weakens the cement. And in the manufacturing, some powder coal, or it is called as a fuel, that will be added for the burning. And at the end, gypsum is added to retard and enhance the quick setting of the cement. Okay. Now, manufacturing of cement, that already you have studied in the second year. Basically, it will be done by two ways. It will be either a dry process or it will be a wet process. Okay. Done by okay. Is there and grinding is calcareous material. If it is a wet process, okay, we will go further. If no, we will go to directly crushing and grinding. Okay, then it will be stored in the silos. That crushed and grinded material will be stored in the silos. But if it is a wet process, washing is done of the raw material, then it goes to the basing and then it will go for the grinding. That is both the either from the dry process or from the wet process, both will come after the storing to the grinding. Okay, during grinding, water is added, and when the water is added, slurry will form. Okay, then correcting basing is there. Okay, that is to remove some impurities or all those things. Then it will go to rotary clean. Students, after this slide, I will show you one schematic diagram where you will see all these processes, how this process will go on. Okay. In rotary clean, hot clinkers are there, and that powdered coal and air is allowed to move over there. Cooler is there. Then after the rotary clean, that is that process is completed, it goes to grinding in ball mill so that it can be make a finer particle. When it will goes to grinding, 2 to 4% quantity of gypsum is added over here. Except gypsum, nothing is added to the manufacturing of the Portland cement. Okay. After grinding, it will be stored in the silos. Silos, that will be the structure used for the storage. Okay, that bunkers and silos. If we go for the advanced structural design, there you will see the design of these bunkers and silos. Then packing is done. One video is there regarding the manufacturing process of the cement, but I think it is not played over there. I will share you this video on your Google Classroom. There you can see over there. Okay. Now see here the schematic diagram for the manufacturing of the cement. Okay. First process is the mixing. You will see over there that raw material is there, and that will be mixed over here. Okay, that raw meal is there and raw mixer is there. Okay, so raw material are crushed, powdered, and mixed in right proportion. Dry raw mix is there and stored in a silos. You will see that vertical structure. So there it will be stored after the crushing. Once mixing is done, that is for the dry process again, as mentioned in the slide. After mixing, it goes to the burning in a rotary kiln. Okay, so burning of dry raw mix is carried out in rotary kiln. That kiln rotates at a speed of 1 revolution per minute, and that kiln is slightly inclined. Though in this picture or in this diagram, you will see that kiln in a horizontal position, but it is slightly inclined, and the position is 5 to 6 degrees with the horizontal. After burning, it goes to the grinding. Okay, hot clinkers are cooled with the atmospheric air and pulverized together with 2 to 3% of gypsum in ball mills. 2 to 3% gypsum is added over here. In the ball mills, that will be grounded into a fine powder. Okay. Then it goes to the silos at the end where it is stored. Then it will be either packed. Generally, that will be packed in a bags of 50 kg. You will see at site that 50 kg bags are there, or through large trucks, it will be directly transported. Okay. Now see over here that for the wet process, the same thing is explained over here. Okay. That you will see here that slurry storage basin. When that water is added over there, limestone is crushed, powdered, and stored in silos. Clay is washed with water to remove organic matter and stored in a basin. You will see here that slurry storage basin you will see over here. Okay. Both these materials are mixed in grinding mill to form slurry. That slurry contains 38 to 40% water stored in a correcting basin. Now, after the mixing, either for the dry process or the wet process, it comes to the second part, that is the burning process. Okay, here it will be given that view of the burning process. Here, that slurry tank from where the material is poured, and this will you will see that rotary kiln. Okay, which is rotated 1 revolution per minute, and it is inclined 5 to 6 degrees with the horizontal. Okay, here that hot air is on another side, hot air is coming. Okay, the temperature is near about 1500 degrees centigrade. Okay, see here that will be divided into that rotary kiln divided into 3 parts, which you will see in next slide. But after here, that hot clinkers will come to cold clinkers and comes to ball mill. Now see here that zones of the rotary kiln. First, that that 1250 to 1500 degrees centigrade, that is clinkering zone. 700 to 1000 degrees centigrade, that is calcination zone, and 400 degrees centigrade, that is the drying zone. Okay. See, upper part of kiln is about 400 degrees centigrade. Most of the water in the slurry gets evaporated. When the slurry come over here at 400 degrees centigrade, almost all water will get evaporated over here. Then it comes to the second part, that is the calcination zone. That is the center part of the kiln, where temperature is maintained at 700 to 1000 degrees centigrade. Lime get decomposed into CaO and CO2. Now, see here carefully. Lime get decomposed into CaO and CO2. CO2, that is important part. When you read any article, either in the newspaper or any news channel, in the cement manufacturing companies, if we manufacture a 1 ton of cement, near about 1 ton of carbon dioxide is eliminated or is released in the atmosphere, and the temperature of atmospheric air will go on decreasing. That's why many researchers are working on to find the substitute for the cement, so that it's the adverse effect of the manufacturing of cement will be minimized. Then it will come to next part, that is clinkering zone. It is the lower part of kiln where temperature is about 1250 to 1500 degrees centigrade. That clay, that reacted clay to form various Bogue compounds. Okay, these compounds we will see in the next slides. First, we will see that what is the reaction takes place in different zones. Calcination zone. Here, COCO3 forms a COO and CO2, which is released in the atmosphere. In the second zone, clinkering zone. Okay, that CO reacts with SiO2 and dicalcium silicate will form. That is the compound of the cement. In the same zone, tricalcium silicate will form and tricalcium aluminate, that is C2S, C3S and C3A will be formed. That reactions will take place in the clinkering zone. Also, tricalcium aluminiferrite, that is C4AF, that will be formed. If we see the compounds of the cement, you will see that C2S, C3S, C3A and C4AF. That is dicalcium silicate, tricalcium aluminate and tricalcium aluminiferrite. Okay, that will form in the filtering second zone. Then see here, the grinding. Mostly the ball mills are used for grinding cement, where cooled clinkers are ground to a fine powder in ball mill. Students, if we visit our transportation engineering laboratory, where in transportation engineering you are going to perform one practical over there. There, that small balls are kept in that machine, and that will allow to rotate. What happens, that ball having a heavyweight balls are there. What happens when that is rotated? What happens, that ball will strike with each other, and whatever come in between that balls, it will get it into a very fine powder form. Same thing over here, that ball mills are used. At final stage, grounding about 2 to 3% of at final stage of grounding means making it fine. About 2 to 3% of powdered gypsum is added, 2 to 3% only. Okay, if it is less, again properties are hampered. If it is more, again properties is hampered. Which property? Setting property will be hampered over there. Okay, this is to avoid setting of cement quickly when it comes in contact with the water. Gypsum acts as a retarding agent for early setting of the cement. See here, that reaction will take place. And at the last stage, packing is there. Okay, either it will be stored in the silos or it will pack in a 50 kg. Okay, so this is about the manufacturing of the cement, either by the dry process or by the wet process. Okay, we will see the properties of cement. Next part, we will see the properties of the cement, that is setting and hardening property. When the cement is mixed with the water, hydration and hydrolysis reaction of Bogue compound of cement begins, resulting in formation of gel and crystalline products. These products have ability to surround inner materials like sand, bricks, crushed stones. See here, when that cement will hardens, it will surround inner material. Inner material means the material which does not take part in any reaction. So we will call as a inert material. Okay. So it will surround that material. That is when we consider a concrete, sand and aggregate is there, which we will call as an aggregate. Aggregate, sometimes that aggregate alkali reaction takes place, but we are considering it as an inert material. So cement, what will do, it will surround that sand and aggregate, and a compact mass or structure is formed called as a concrete. Okay. Setting is the stiffness of original plastic mass due to formation of gel. That it can be divided into two stages, that is initial stage and final stage, or initial set and final set. Initial set is when paste begins to stiffen. In the second year concrete technology, you have studied that initial setting time and final setting time. During initial setting time, that concrete can be molded to any shape. Okay, but during final setting, that cannot be molded. Okay, the same thing is explained over here in the 2 points. Initial set is when paste begins to stiffen, and final stage is when the paste beginning to harden and able to sustain some load. Okay. Hardening is the development of strength due to formation of crystals. Okay, so that process will be explained over here. On hydrated cement, hydration is there. Then how the different gels and hydration products are formed, that will be shown over here. And then the crystalline product will be formed, which surrounds that inert material. Okay. Now see, sequence of changes during setting and hardening. Okay, what changes will take place in the raw materials of the concrete? Cement plus water paste. First day what happened? Hydration of C3A and C4A. Okay, that takes place. Up to 7th day, gelation of C3S. 28th day, that is for C2S and C3S. Okay, so that's why we will take a strength of the concrete on 28 days because of this diagram. Is it? This diagram is, in this diagram it is explained why it is taken. Now we'll see what chemical reactions will take place for all these dates. When the cement is mixed with water, hydration of tricalcium aluminate C3A takes place within a day. Within a day, hydration of tricalcium aluminate will take place. Here, in the first day, here it is mentioned hydration of C3A and C4F. Okay, C3A. Okay, the paste becomes rigid, which is known as initial set or flash set. That reaction will be given over here. Tricalcium aluminate. That TriCAO Al2O3 plus 6H2O, which will form hydrated tricalcium aluminate. That is CaO Al2O3 6H2O, which is crystalline in nature. That's why some strength is gained in 1 day. Plus 880 kilojoule per kg. That much amount of heat is liberated, or that much amount of heat is released in the atmosphere. Now students, simply when we add water to the cement, if we take in a bucket 2 or 3 kg of cement, and if we will add 2 or 3 liters of water, same, that is if you take a 2 kg of cement and you will add a 2 liter of water, so what happens, you will see that some amount of heat is released from that. That is, some reaction will take place over there. Some chemical reactions will take place over there. That is nothing but the hydration of the cement. And during this amount, that heat is released. How much amount? 880 kilojoule per kilogram. That much amount of heat is released in the atmosphere. That is an exothermic reaction. Okay, the same is explained over here. To avoid early setting of C3A, small quantity of gypsum is added, which acts as a retarding agent. If we have to prolong this reaction, आपल्याला वेळ वाढवायचा या रिएक्शनचा, काय करणार आहे आपण? We will add a small quantity of gypsums, which will retard this reaction. Okay, so rate of gain of strength will be retarded. See students, why we have to add this gypsum? I will give you one example. Suppose you are considering constructing one dam where mass concreting is there, large concreting is there. At that time, if we consider 880 kilojoule per kg of amount of heat is released in a day, and if mass concreting is there, then huge amount of heat is released. Is it? To minimize that, that reaction will be retarded. काय होणार आहे, एक दिवसामध्ये जेवढी हीट रिलीज होणार आहे ती एक दिवसामध्ये होण्याऐवजी आपण 2 दिवसात रिलीज करणार आहे. So we will retard that reaction. For that purpose, that gypsum is added over there. See here. That. Now, that is about the first day. Now, day 2 to day 7. After hydration of C3A and C3S, begins to hydrate to give a gel and a crystalline calcium hydroxide, which is responsible for initial strength of the cement. The hydration of C3S get completed within, that is hydration of tricalcium silicate get completed within 7 days. And that reaction will be given over here. For that tricalcium silicate, that is CaO SiO2, when comes in contact with the water, will get hydrated and that gel is formed. Okay, that is called as a CSH gel. CSH, calcium silicate hydrate gel. CaO twice SiO2 plus thrice H2O and a calcium hydroxide. Okay, CaOH twice. Now see here again heat is released, but how much it will be? 500 kilojoule per kilogram. Okay, that amount of heat is released from day 2 to day 7. That amount of heat. But in a day 1, see here that previous reaction. In day 1, 880 kilojoule per kg is released, while in day 2 to 7, that is in a 6 day, only 500 is released. Is it? So, if we observe any slab which is casted in a month of May, that is, heat is more, that slab is casted, see, started at 10 a.m. and completed at 1 p.m. And if you observe that slab tomorrow morning at same a.m., you will see a small cracks, a very fine cracks are developed on the slab. Why that cracks are developed? Because huge amount of heat is released in a day 1 in the concrete, as well as the surrounding temperature is also high. So that's why that cracks are released, because that heat will not be absorbed by the surrounding area. Okay, but if the same slab is casted in a winter season, at the same time you don't see that much amount of cracks, because that whatever the heat is released, that heat is absorbed by the surrounding. Okay, त्यामुळे काय केलं जातं, जर मे महिन्यामध्ये कधी स्लॅब कास्ट केला असेल, तो एक तर तो सकाळीच कास्ट केला जातो 12 वाजेच्या अगोदर, आणि संध्याकाळी त्यावरती थोडं पाणी शिंपडलं जातं, जेणेकरून जी काही हीट रिलीज होईल ती हीट ऍब्सॉर्ब केली जावी. ओके, इफ वी ऑब्झर्व द साइट, दिस प्रॅक्टिस इज फॉलोड ऑन द साइट. See here, that gel, we may call it CSH gel, possesses a very high surface area and very high adhesive property. That's why concrete will get strength. That at 7 days, if we check a strength of the concrete on 7th day, you will get 65% of the strength. Okay, because it will form a very adhesive property. And the remaining from 7 to 28th day. The tricalcium silicate reacts with water very slowly and gets completed in 7 to 28 days. That is, remaining 21 days, only 250 kilojoule per kg amount of heat is released in the atmosphere. Okay, again that CSH gel is formed and calcium hydroxide is formed. Okay, the increase of strength is due to formation of that gel called as CSH gel and crystalline calcium hydroxide of both dicalcium silicate and tricalcium silicate. Okay, so these all reaction is nothing but the hydration of the cement. That is nothing but the hydration of the cement. That is the second part of the your unit number 2. After initial hydration of tetracalcium aluminum ferrite, hardening takes place through crystallization along with C2S. That is, that reaction will continues. Okay, and that gel will form to continue. See here, that hydration and hydrolysis of different compounds, that both compounds cause cement to develop a compressive strength. That compounds cause the to develop the compressive strength. Here in the graph, it is given. Horizontal axis, time duration is given, and on the vertical axis, the strength, compressive strength in MPa will be given. And see here, each of these compounds will cause to develop a strength in the concrete. Okay, so how much will be the development of the strength? Along with the time it will be given. See here that C3S, tricalcium silicate, will develop most of its strength in the initial strength, and later on it will continue. So at 28 days we will consider a compressive strength of the concrete, but it will achieve only 90% of its total strength. And after 28 days, to get the strength or to achieve the strength, that process will continues. That is, as the age of the concrete will go on increasing, its compressive strength will go on increasing. That will be shown over here in this graph. Time in days is given. Up to 100 days, this strength will go on increasing. Either you will see the green color line or other orange color line also. Is it? That will go on increasing, but at later age, it will be flattened. At later age, it will be flattened. That the rate of gain of strength will be reduced at later age. Up to 7 days, it is 65%. Up to 90 days, it will be 90%, and then it will be flattened. Okay. Now, what is the function of gypsum over here? Tricalcium aluminate, that is C3A, combines with water very rapidly with the evolution of large amount of heat. After the initial set, the paste becomes stiff. Addition of gypsum retards the dissolution of C3A, that is tricalcium aluminate, by forming insoluble calcium sulfoaluminate. So it will retard the reaction. That means the whatever amount of heat is released, that is also reduced. Okay. The above reaction shows how gypsum retards the early initial set of the cement. Okay. That's how it will be added. But the excess gypsum, as you have seen, again it will cause a adverse impact. Okay. So the heat of hydration of that cement. When cement is mixed with water, hydration, hydrolysis on gelation reaction starts and some heat is liberated. On an average, 500 kilojoule per kg of heat is evolved during complete hydration of cement. Now see how much amount of heat is released by different compounds. C3A, tricalcium aluminate, 880 kilojoule per kg, tricalcium silicate, 500 kilojoule per kg, tetracalcium alumina ferrite, 420 kilojoule per kg, and dicalcium silicate, 250 kilojoule per kg. There is that much amount of heat is released by different GOGO compounds. Okay. So students, today we'll stop over here, and by next lecture we'll see the different types of the cement. Okay.